Here in New York City, a federal judge sentenced an African woman convicted of importing monkey meat into the United States to 3 years of probation. She is just one player in a growing international black market for exotic game, not for pelts or horns, but for food. And it is risky business in more ways than one. Dan Harris reports for our series, Nightline Investigates.
Want to get a sense of how much danger some people in Africa are willing to endure to kill and eat wild animals? Check out what happens when we run into a group of female elephants and their babies. When their ears perk up, indicating they know we're here, our guide tells us to sprint. He turns, sees they're still following us, and takes off again.
Or new. He said he wasn't scared for himself, he was scared for us.
Thank you.
Even though wild elephants are one of the most aggressive and feared animals in the jungle, poachers are out here risking their necks to hunt them. Andrea Turcalo sees it every day.
Monica is right there with the pink trunk.
Turcalo, who's originally from the Boston area, is a researcher for the Wildlife Conservation Society who has studied elephants here in the Central African Republic for 19 years.
I think everybody knows that elephants are killed for their tusks. I did not know that they were killed for food.
Oh, yeah.
The way you describe it, it seems like an industry almost.
It is very industrialized here because we have people coming in areas that were never exploited, and now there's, this abundance of game, and they just see it as this unending source of meat.
Africans are literally eating away their natural heritage. Poaching has become the #1 threat to iconic, endangered animals like elephants. This is an elephant ear, gorillas, and monkeys. It's called bushmeat, and even though it's illegal, we found it openly sold in public markets.
You yourself, you've seen them sell elephant, panther, gorilla, right here.
I've seen elephant meat, gorillas meat several times. Yeah.
Why would anybody eat gorilla or elephant? I mean, does it taste good?
They find that it tastes good.
On this desperately poor continent with ever-increasing populations of hungry people, it's estimated that 1 million metric tons of bushmeat are eaten every year. That is the equivalent of 9 billion quarter pounders. And you'd be surprised by where this meat is ending up now.
You don't just go and say, hey, you have bushmeat. No, I start with something else.
This is New York City, Queens. We're with a professional investigator who doesn't want us to show his face. He takes us to a supermarket where he finds what he says are stacks of meat from an animal called a cane rat.
Cane rat. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay.
You want it?
How much you sell that one?
It's a pound, $20 a pound.
$20 a pound? That's too much, man. Yeah, man.
We show the undercover video to Crawford Allen, who investigates the illegal animal trade for the World Wildlife Fund.
I mean, so this seems to indicate that this stuff is not hard to get.
We know that it's readily available not just in Queens, but also in parts of Washington, D.C., parts of Minneapolis, St. Paul, other centers around the country. And it's because people have a passion for bushmeat. They want that taste from home.
The influx of bushmeat poses a potentially catastrophic health threat here in America.
We know, particularly with primates, monkeys and apes, that they can carry diseases like Ebola, which is a very nasty, fatal virus. They can carry HIV, all sorts of different types of viruses, which can be fatal to humans as well.
The Centers for Disease Control tells us they are alarmed. Even as the nation deals with the swine flu, the CDC says bushmeat could be the source of an outbreak of monkeypox or from a virus we've never heard of before. Just today, this African immigrant, a mother of 10 named Mamie Mane, was sentenced to 3 years probation for importing crates of monkey meat which she has said her community consumes to celebrate religious holidays.
Are you going to do it again?
No, never.
The federal government is now cracking down on the bushmeat trade, stepping up luggage searches at the airport, for example, although they admit a lot gets through. We go back to confront the owners of the store in Queens, where our investigator says he found bushmeat.
Are you guys selling bushmeat out of here?
No.
No?
No, bushmeat, no. Fish, dried fish, snails, bushmeat.
We had an investigator with a hidden camera come in here, and he found what he said was cane rat from Africa.
No.
So nothing whatsoever.
No, bushmeat.
Yep.
My friend.
Okay. And you're the owner, you say?
Back in Africa, conservation groups like the World Wildlife Fund are now launching public education campaigns to convince people not to eat bushmeat. They're also helping to pay for armed forest guards to protect the animals and confiscate people's guns and snare traps.
All of these were seized in the last couple of months.
But still, conservationists say a lot more has to be done here, both in America and in Africa, to stop a trend that poses a mortal threat to some of the most spectacular animals on the planet, and quite possibly to all of us. For Nightline, this is Dan Harris in the Central African Republic.
A dangerous black market. Our thanks to Dan Harris for that.